Hello my dears. Next classification of relay is nothing but the distance relay or impedance relay, both are same. The distance relay or impedance relay, both are same. So as the name indicates my dear, this relay only operate when the impedance of the line is less than the predetermined or the specified impedance value. The relay will operate only when its impedance less than the set value. If its impedance is higher than the set value, then the relay will not operate. Okay. With this diagram I will simplify. See, this is a simplified diagram so that it can be easily understandable. I will tell you one by one. This is the source, my dear. This is the source, let be S. Okay. And it will be a circuit breaker, and there is actually we are connecting or inserting the impedance relay. So the impedance relay means it contains two coils, my dear. One is the potential transformer coil, or simply the pressure coil, or simply PT. The secondary of the PT, one end is there. The secondary of the CT also there. The secondary of the CT, or simply we connected two coils, one in PT, other in CT, that's all. And the PT always produces the restoring torque. Restoring torque is nothing but the torque which holds the system under normal condition. The whole system, or the torque which holds the system, and the torque which allows the normal operation is called the restoring torque. And the deflecting torque or the operating torque is provided with the CT, because whenever the current is exceeding certain value, the CT should activate, the CT secondary coil will activate and it will trip the circuit. Whenever this torque produced by this deflection, that means this will operate when TD greater than T restore. When the deflecting torque greater than the restoring torque only, then this relay will be activate and the circuit will be isolated or triple, that's all. See my dear, this relay or this impedance relay having certain impedance value, it is set. Suppose that impedance value be up to, that means from A to B, the transmission line having certain impedance now, because Z proportional to L, we know that R proportional to rho L by A, inductance also, it is connecting the length now. So in short we can say that what? Z proportional to L, we can say that. That means up to this length Z, up to this length Z, what happened? There will be up to length A to B, there will be an impedance Z. Okay. And suppose you imagine there is a fault happened here. That distance is less than the AB distance. I will tell you once more, my dear, don't worry. I know it is slightly difficult to understand, but once you got the idea, it will be very easy. Distance relay operate when distance or impedance relay. Why the name or means impedance is directly proportional to distance, that's why. Impedance is directly proportional to distance, that's why. Okay? Is it clear, my dear? Is it clear? So, we know that the inductance of the capacitor, the inductance of the transmission line now, it is, we already learned, right? 2 into 10 raised to minus 7 ln d by r, Henry per meter, not per meter. If the line increases, the inductance also increases, that's all. Capacitance also, pi epsilon divided by ln d by r, Farad per meter. When length increases, the capacitance value also increases, that's all. So in short, the impedance is directly proportional to the distance, that's all. The impedance is directly proportional to the distance. So what happened here, my dear? What happened here? When the fault occurred below the length AB, then what happened? The nature of the faulty point is such that when fault happened, the current value I will be high. and the voltage value V will be lower. So what happened to the fault impedance then? Numerator is lower and denominator higher means the fault impedance should be lower. When the fault impedance is lower than the set Z value, the relay will operate. Okay, so the fault point is nothing but the current increasing and voltage decreasing point. When current increases and voltage decreases, the impedance will be reducing. If the impedance is reduced below the set value, what happened? The relay will operate. That is nothing but this inside region. Suppose it is in between, that means from A to B, this is the length, radius of the circle represented by. If it is in between these, ZF less than ZL happens and the relay will operate. It is called the positive torque region. Why? Because we already gave the idea about the operating force K1 into I square minus K2, where K1 into I square is greater than K2 means it is called a positive torque. So here also it will happen a positive torque region. So the TD greater than T restoring torque. So the circuit breaker will trip. The circuit breaker will trip. That means the relay will trip the nearby circuit breaker. Nearby circuit breaker is this one. This will trip so that it will not supply anything. The fault will be isolated. Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear? And what happens when fault occur F2? F2, if the fault occur means relay is here, my dears. The fault is here F2. Of course, this length will be greater than Z value. Z means AB. This length will be greater than AB now. So what happened? That ZF will be greater than. That ZF will be what? It only activate when this ZF lies in between this Z only. That means it lies less than this AB only. After that AB means this relay doesn't function. It doesn't know. Okay. So when the ZF greater than ZL will happen. The ZF greater than Z. Not ZL, simply Z. You can make simply Z. When the ZF greater than Z means what happened? The relay won't activate. The ZF greater than Z condition is also happen when there is no fault. When there is no fault means, even if you take very long length means the ZF will be very high there because there is no fault. ZF will be very high if there is no fault also. No fault means I will be lower, V will be high, ZF will be high. So no fault region means there is high ZF value. ZF, you don't worry. F means F is nothing but fault, always fault in any. If there is a fault, we take a ZF. If there is no fault mean also you can take a ZF. No worry. It is we are giving the name ZF or ZX or ZY. We have to compare it with the predetermined set value of Z, my dear. If it is lies between or in shorter than this length AB, the relay will be triggered. Otherwise the relay will not trigger. That's all simply. That's all simply. Is it clear, my dear? Is it clear? Okay. And that's all about the distance relay or impedance relay.